Hello, um, my name is Brendan McKendry, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about how we're going to record the what used to be our Global Scholar scores in TAC, so that way they can be accessed by CTE Central Office. I stood up I stood up at the curriculum meeting and talked about this for a brief minute, and I understand there were some people who were a little concerned or perplexed about how we're going to do this. And it's my hope that showing you how to do this will help set your mind at ease. Additionally, the Lab 21 teachers in the building, if you are in middle school, have been shown how to do this firsthand. So they're a resource also to turn to if you're at least on the middle school level. Otherwise, feel free to contact me directly, brandon.mcendry@fcps.org. Right, so in order to access where to put this information in, you're going to actually click on the Performance tab right here in TAC, okay? When you do that, it will allow you to choose what class you want to manipulate, as well as give you the opportunity to actually go in and make some changes regarding your what you're going to do as far as the score is concerned. But before we do anything else, we want to make sure that we click on this little guy here and change it to CTE rubric. This will call up basically a blank form for you to fill in as far as the CTE rubric, the CTE College and Career Readiness rubric is concerned. You'll see right here we've got responsibility, skills, communication, creativity, problem solving, leadership, so on and so forth. You'll see it also repeat over here, again, for responsibility, skills, communication, creativity, problem solving, leadership, and one more time. The reason for this is because it's broken down in order to allow you to do a pre-test, mid-year test, and a post-test right here. That will get spelled out in a little more detail as we go in to start doing the manipulation. Right now, you'll see that we cannot do any manipulation at all. We cannot add any sort of scores or anything like that. The reason for that is that we have to go all the way over here to the end, and we have to click on this pencil icon. If we click on this pencil icon, it will actually open the test for us. Now you see that the screen has changed. It's become a series of drop downs. Right here, it specifies pre-test. Right here, it specifies midterm. And right here, it specifies post-test. Also, you'll see your student ID, student name, and there's a calendar here to put in a date. The date you put in here isn't really too important, just as long as you have this school year's date, so that way it collates properly when the folks at CTE go ahead and pull up our scores. My suggestion is that you go ahead and you put in your dates. And what I'm going to do here is I actually copied this, and I'm going to take my mouse. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to just paste those dates in. And this will take me all of like 15 seconds to do for the entire class if I choose to do the entire class, which you're going to have to. Now, right here, it gives you a list of courses. You're going to have to list what course you are doing, okay? My suggestion here is that you just do the same thing. In fact, rather than copy and paste, which you're not going to be able to do, you can actually start typing out the program that you're looking for, okay? So if you're looking for, let's say, Lab 21, all I have to do is click L, and the thing that comes up is Lab 21. Click down here, L, Lab 21. Let's say I wanted to do Tech Expo. Okay, I just type in TE Tech Expo. Right here, let's say I want to do I&I. Click on I, and I&I pops up. So this will be just a very fast way to do this. Now, let's say I want to start entering some scores. I can do the drop down, or I can actually type in the score I want. So if I wanted to do 2, I click in 2. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do 4, and I did that by just hitting the arrow key, okay? So I hit the tab button. I know it's hard to see, but I'm right here. I hit the tab button, and you'll see this one now is lit up. Instead of doing the drop down, I'm just going to hit the arrow. Again, I did the next tab right here, I'm just going to hit the arrow. I'm going to make that a 3. Next arrow, let's make that a 2. Next arrow, I'm going to go ahead and just do that as a 4. Okay? And then we'll finish this one out with a 3. It was that easy to put those scores in, okay? I don't need to go past 6 for leadership because now I'm in my midterm. If I want to do that for all my classes, go ahead and input that information in. And then when I'm ready, I can just go ahead and click this to save those test scores. Wait for the test scores to save. And then when they've saved, you want to go back to the view only screen by clicking on this little icon here with the eyeball. That'll close it out. And there you go. Now this document cannot be manipulated. Now, a word of warning. If you have a child that is in multiple classes that are using the CTE rubric and it's being recorded in this format, you will actually see multiple students. So for instance, let's say that my friend here, the very first student, has food science, and the food science teacher is going to go ahead and put in his score. So when he or she goes to put the food science score in, they'll go ahead and put that in. I've got the same name here, but I've got 2 separate tests here. Now, as I scroll across, you're going to lose track of what that class is. So it's in your interest to remember whether or not you're first or second as you go across to add those scores in. The names here will always stay. Okay, they will always stay the same. They will not move on you, but the actual course drop down will. Okay? This is very important because you're in a situation where you could potentially erase a student's score after another teacher has put it in. All right? That could very well happen. I'm going to go ahead and remove this now because there's no reason for it. But if you do need to add a student because you get them a second semester or a second part of the year, then to do that, to add a new test would be to click on this Add New Test for Student. And that will go ahead and that will create a new test for the same student. You may or may not be able to see this. They may have blocked this name out for you, but this is the same name for the same student. All in all, this doesn't take much time at all. I've actually taken more time explaining this to you than what it would have taken me to put in the scores for this particular class. Seems like a lot of steps, but the video is made available for you. And I know one of the other Lab 21 teachers was talking to me about creating a little shortcut sheet. If not, I'm sure there'll be resources coming from central office, the CTE office to help us out with that. Otherwise, if you do have any questions, my name again is Brandon McEndry. Feel free to email me, contact me, drop me a line, whatever you feel is necessary, and I'll do my best to support you from this end. I really did find that this was a much easier way to get scores in, especially considering the fact that we were informed last year that this is how our department validates the resources that they give us to the superintendent's office. They can say, this is the job, this is the data, and they need this in a pretty timely manner. Thank you so much for your time, and that is all I have for you.